brought this little boy that had his lunch packed, 5 loaves and 2 fishes, and they weren't these big loaves of bread like we would buy at Kroger's. They were little wafers, little flatbread wafers, and 2 fishes. I don't know what kind of fishes they were, but I'm pretty sure they weren't great big, huge fishes. Probably more like a bluegill that come out of Rick's pond. And the disciples, and of course, I gotta admit, I don't know whether the disciples hijacked this little boy's lunch or if this little boy ran up and volunteered it. I like to think that he ran up and volunteered it out of the innocence of a child, coming to God and saying, this is all that I have, and this is what I'm going to give. Jesus prayed over what they had. Jesus prayed over what they had. We pray over what we have. And that 5,000 was fed to be full. And I know they were full because they had how many baskets left over? 12 baskets of leftovers. Amazing grace. So when was the last time you were excited? Rick was telling me, I remember what it was now, Rick was telling me that when he thinned out the herd and killed off the deer, which I don't know if Rick killed off the deer or the deer killed off Rick's truck, but he went ahead and drove to the racetrack. Drove back home. How excited were you, Rick, that God gave you the means to be able to get to the track and home without having to have a wrecker come and get you with a hole in your radiator? That's okay, you don't have to answer that. How excited do we get about the amazing grace of God? My goodness. Those of us that are grandparents, which are most of us here, I've laughed because out of 9 grandchildren, of course we've got 3 living in Colorado right now. We have 6 that we have a revolving door at our house, and they're in and out and in and out, and staying and going, and bringing whatever elements of bugs and viruses into our house from all over northern Kentucky and Indiana. But with the exception of sinuses and allergies, God has kept Robin and I healthy. The kids have only had strep throat. And you know, the amazing thing about it is Robin has not gotten sick from it at all. Amazing grace. Amazing grace. And you may be thinking, how did you get from humility to amazing grace? Because unless we have a humble heart, we will not acknowledge the amazing grace of God in anything we do. Because we're too caught up and too busy looking at ourselves and believing that we did it all ourselves, rather than being like Paul and saying, "Oh, wretched man that I am. Oh, wretched man that I am. God, I need you because I am such a wretched man." So, as we finish, I want to ask, is there anybody here that would like prayer this morning? for anything. Finances, job, groceries. Anybody at all that wants prayer for anything particular? Okay, do what?
I said my family always needs prayer.
Okay, your family.